Okay, so before the break, we just went over the fraction exponent, right? How to put it in to radical form. Okay, so you also need to know how to go back, okay, because in your homework, I'll point out what the homework will look like. So the first part, we just did it, right? Write it in radical form, okay? And then there's a part that you need to write it in exponential form. So we'll go over the examples to show you, okay, what you need to do for exponential form, okay? So the instruction here, it says write it as a power. Okay, power means write it as a power means write it in exponential form. Okay, exponential. And when you write it in exponential form, leave it in positive exponent. Okay, and if there's anything you can simplify, okay, this is a very vague word, right? So what you need to learn from this example, this exercise here is to know when to stop. Okay, what kind of answer we are looking for. Okay, what does it mean by simplify? Right. So yeah, we'll go over each of the questions. Make sure you write down the steps. Then when you are doing the homework, you can look for these ones, okay, as for hints of what to do, okay, whether your answer should be the final answer or not, okay. So let's start with the simplest one, okay. This one I think everyone should know, okay. Square root of 28. We want to write it using exponents, okay. So going backwards, just like a square root of 25, you want to go back. Okay, write it as 25 to the 1/2. Okay, this is called power, right? Write it as power or exponential. Okay, so first one, what is the answer for this one, Jenny? Question A.
Um,
Sorry, I cannot hear you. Can you try one more time? What's your answer for A?
um,
Do you understand what to do?
yeah, can you give me 1 second to find the answer?
Okay.
.3 to the 2.
Say that again.
5.3 to the 2.
5.3. How did you get 5.3?
Square root of 28.
Okay, we are not finding answer. This you need to I guess you use the calculator, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. We are not doing that. Okay. Look at the example I showed you just now.
Mhm.
Look at question 3A, right? 25 to the
Oh,
half. You write it as radical, it will be square root 25. What we are doing right now is to go back, write it as exponent. That's all you need to do.
right. So it'd be 28 to the half.
Yes, okay. That's all you need to do. You don't need to find the answer. There's no way I can figure that out, right? Without a calculator. Okay, so make sure you read the instruction when you're doing the homework as well. If they say write it as a power or write it as exponents, that's all you do. Okay, you're done. 28 to the half.
Mr. Jason, can I do B?
Of course. Okay, what's your answer for B?
Oh my God, bracket -13, bracket 1/3, like to the 1/3 power.
To the 1/3. Okay, very good. Okay, so remember this one, you need to have bracket, okay? Very good that you did a bracket, because if you don't have the brackets, okay, if your answer looks like that, that means the 1/3 is only applied to the 13. Then the question should look like this. Okay, these are two separate answers. If the question looks like on the right hand side, then your answer, you won't have brackets. Okay, if everything inside the square root, you need to keep a bracket. Okay, you can write down both answers, okay, to compare. So the one we want is this one, okay, the one in the red box. All right, so far pretty easy, right? You just go back, rewrite it as exponent rewind, right? All right, anyone wants to try C? How do you write this using exponent? Anybody? It kind of look like the last question that G and H, right? Has a 5x. Any volunteer? Okay, I'll give you a little bit more time to try it out. Okay, Aaron, did you try anything?
Yeah, I'm just like still wondering if it's either you put a bracket or you don't.
Okay, if you have more than one thing under the square root, then you need a bracket. Okay, if you look at question B, right? Under the square root, well, in this case, it's cube root, right? We have a negative, we have a 13. So that's more than one thing, right? So if you have more than one stuff inside, then you need a bracket. If you look at the one on the right hand side, right, you only have 13, only one item, then you don't need a bracket. Is that clear, Aaron?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
that's how you decide whether you need brackets or not. So for question C, what do you think? Do you need bracket? I cannot hear you, Aaron.
Yes, you need a bracket.
Okay,
Is
how
it?
many
Oh,
things are
you need a
inside?
bracket. There is 3 things. Yeah, 3.
Which three?
The 5, the x and the power of 4.
Okay, the
Or is
5
that
you
2?
count it as a one part. Okay, x to the 4, they have to be together.
Oh,
Okay,
then it's 2.
because exponent must carry with a base, right? They cannot exist without each other. Okay, the base and the exponent must be together. So there are two things inside, okay? Two things. Okay, so Enya, what do you have for C?
I have bracket 5x to the power of 4, bracket 1/2.
Okay. How many of you got the same thing? Can you raise your hand? Okay, only 3 people. So we have other kinds of answers. Anyone else did something differently? Or more things to go after this? Okay, Shanier, did you do anything else? Shanier, what's your answer look like? Shanier, are you there? No, okay, you're checking. Okay. Did anyone else do something after this step? Yep,
I
Jenny.
got 5x to the 4/2.
5x to the 4/2. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Very good. Anyone else? All right, so this is the part you have to pay attention, okay? The first step here, very good, okay? It's correct, but this is not the simplified answer, okay? We need to still do more stuff after this. So now you have an exponent outside, okay? If you remember, you have, if you have more than one thing in the brackets, right? You have two things here, you need to share. Okay, let me show you where that exponent rule is from. This one, part 2. Okay, remember you have a square on the outside, right? Square on the outside, it can go in, right? Share with whatever stuff that's inside, right? If you have 5 things, you have to share the exponent with 5 things. So same with this one, okay? You cannot stop there, otherwise you don't get the full mark. Okay, so for this one, if I share, the 1/2 needs to go to both of them. Okay, so you have 5 to the half, x to the 4 to the half. Okay, now for the second part, the to the 4 and the half, they can multiply together, right? Using the exponent law that we learned before, right? If exponent next to each other, it'll be 5 to the half, and 4 times half will be square, right? Like 4/2. Okay, so Jenny's answer is pretty close. Okay, it's just missing the half there, and then the 4/2 need to reduce, okay, into a 2. Okay, so be careful when you share. If you have more than one thing inside, you need to share both exponents. Okay, this is the first question. We have something like this. You'll get better at it, okay, as you do more, right? So this is the answer we're looking for. You don't need to turn it into square roots, okay? Okay, 5 to the half, of course, the same as root 5 x squared. Okay, you don't need to write it like that. Just leave an exponent because the question says write it as a power with exponents, right? Positive exponent. So keep the exponent there. Because 5, if you square root it, right, you couldn't do anything, right? Couldn't simplify. We want to simplify as far as you can. Okay, so we have another one like that. Question D. So now you know what to do for C. Maybe you can do better for D now, right? So I'll try D now. Once you have an answer, you can raise your hand. Okay, so should be enough time to do that one question, right? Any volunteer to share the answer? Geoffrey, what do you have?
Negative bracket negative 8x bracket 1 over 3 to the power 1 over 3.
Okay. Anyone else has something else? We are looking for, I'm looking for the final answer, okay? Anyone else got different things for a final answer? Okay, Naomi, what do you have?
I got -2 and then cube root of x.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, good, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, so what you need to remember is if the instruction says write it as exponent, okay, you have to keep your answer an exponent. And if you can simplify, right, you have to simplify. You need to follow instructions. Otherwise, you write down something that's not instructed, right? Even though it's not, it's still equal to the question, but you won't get the mark, okay? So just like question C, okay, I'll go over step by step and learn from this, right? When to stop, okay? When to box it as your answer. So first of all, this one needs a bracket, right? You have -8 and an x. Outside, you have a 1/3. Okay, so this is Geoffrey's answer. But that is not the final answer. You cannot stop there, okay? It will be counted as incomplete, okay? You need to share in the exponent because it has more than one thing, okay? So you will have -8 to the 1/3, x to the 1/3. So now this step here is kind of like this step, question C, in question C, the one I highlighted. Okay, like 5 to the half, x squared. This one we have -8 to the 1/3, right? X to the 1/3. For the previous one, the 5 to the half, I could not do anything anymore, right? Even I square rooted, square root of 5 is not a nice number, right? But for -8, if I do the cube root, right? 1/3 means cube root. I could evaluate that, okay? The -8 cube root, it will become -2. Okay, let me move that. And then x to the 1/3, you don't want to write it as radical again, okay? Because the question wants you to write it in exponent. You have to keep the 1/3, all right? So the hardest part, I think, is to know when to stop. Okay, what kind of answer is needed, right? For each question, how far do you go? Okay, if you stop too early or if you did too much, right? It's not good. Any questions? Okay, so make sure you write down the steps, okay? These are very important for you to follow, right, when you are doing the homework. Okay, can you raise your hand if you are ready to move on to next one? All right, so E and F, similar, okay? So now we have C and D for you to follow. I will let you try these two questions together, okay? So finish both of them, all right? When you are done, you can raise your hand, okay? Let's see if this time you guys got the correct final answers, okay? Right, so lower your hands, okay? When you are done, both E and F, then we'll check again. Okay, if you're done, please raise your hand, okay? Whether right or wrong, it's okay, right? Let me know if you've tried it. Okay, so let's go over these two. Okay, Bernice, what's your answer for E?
Can I just write it?
Yep, you can write it. Okay, thank you. All right, Tony, can you share your answer for F?
I just got X, Y as brackets.
Hmm?
Oh,
Question F.
oh, F. I
Yeah,
didn't. Oh, let's see. I got something like 3 - 3x. Like bracket, right?
in bracket.
Yeah, and then 2/3.
That's your final answer?
I think so.
Okay, all right, so let's go over, okay? So make sure you pay attention to when to stop, okay? What count as final answer, right? Sometimes you do too much, sometimes you do too little. Okay, for question E, because you have more than one thing inside, right? So we need brackets, okay? So first we put a bracket first, right? Everything inside you put in the bracket. The fifth root, we write it as 1/5. And then the 1/5 will need to share. Okay, so you cannot stop there. You have to share in. Okay, you get x to the 1/5, y to the 2/5. Okay, so Bernice got this one right. Okay, good. This one, okay, question F. What you have there, okay, Tony, this is only step one. Okay, this is not finished yet. I'll just pull it over here. All right, you have a 2/3 on the outside. So what else do you think we need to do, Tony?
I think to separate it.
You need to, yeah, share the 2/3 into each one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, just like we did in question E, the 1/5 needs to go in. So what does it look like after you make it go in?
This looks like -3 to the power of 2/3 and x to the power of 2/3.
Yeah, okay, and one more thing that's missing, you need a bracket around -3.
Yeah.
Because -3, we can't really do the cube root, right? Because over 3 means cube root. So this one will just stay there. You cannot continue. Different from question D, okay? If you look at D, okay, let me clear that drawing. Okay, question D, the cube root of -8, right? This one, I can find the answer as -2, right? So I can continue. But if it's something like -3, I cannot do anything. So you will stop there, okay? So these are your final answer.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you need to know when to stop, okay, when to box your answer. Don't box too early. All right, so starting from, for the next two questions, it has a fraction, okay? So it doesn't matter, you just keep, if it's in the denominator, you just keep in the denominator, okay? You don't need to bring it up, because if you bring it up, you need to have a negative exponent, right? We want to keep the exponent positive. So do G and H, okay? These two are similar, G and H. Same thing, all right? If you found any answer, you can raise your hand and then we'll go over these two. Okay, any questions? Anyone has finished the two questions? Please raise your hand. Just turn the radicals into exponent, okay? If there's anything to simplify, you just simplify it. And the way to simplify, we already have quite a few examples, right? If you have brackets, you need to share in the exponents. If there's no brackets, then you don't need to share. Okay, Kat, do you want to try it out question G? Do you have anything written down for G, Kat?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you have?
Can I write it?
Yep, you can write
Okay.
it. And Henry, you can try H. You can put it on the screen. Okay, Kat, did you write something? Because it disappeared. Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, so let's go over these two questions. Anyone else want to add to the answers? Did you all have the same? And yeah, anything you have different?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Right, so let's go over the two questions now, right? So you just need to turn all the radicals into exponents, okay? So the phi on the top, it doesn't have exponent, just keep it there, okay? Don't touch it. The denominator, right? The outside number should go to the denominator of the exponent. Make sure I know it's difficult to write on the screen, okay? But when you're writing on your paper, right? 4/3, make sure you write it smaller, okay? So it shows up as an exponent, okay? So this one should be pretty straightforward. So you leave it at like that, okay? Very good, okay? So 6⁴. Yes, okay, thank you, Kat. Okay, and then for H, inside you have two things, right? So you need the brackets here. One, don't touch it, right? So 27x, keeping brackets to the 1/3. Okay, and this time improved, right? So you remember how you need to expand, right, to 1/3, share in the 1/3. So you have 1/27 to the 1/3, x to the 1/3. Now for the 27, it's possible to find the answer, to simplify, right? The 27 to the 1/3 is a cube root of 1/3. Cube root of 1/3, you can turn it into 3. Okay, so you get 1/3 x to the 1/3. Okay, so you would box that as your answer, right? Okay, just a couple more. Okay, next one. So the next two is similar. Okay, so I'll go over what to do with I, then you should be able to do J. Okay, so for the instruction is the same. Okay, we want to turn it into radical. So for the first part, you have x to the 3/2, right? And then for the second part, the green part, you have x to the 1/2. And they are multiplying. Okay, they both have the same base of x. So when you multiply the same base, what do we do with the exponent then? Aaron, what should we do with the exponent when they are multiplying?
You add the exponents.
Right, very good. Okay, so 3/2, if you add it with 1/2, what would that equal then, Angeline?
Can you repeat that?
If you add the exponent up, what would you get? The 3/2 and the 1/2.
4/2.
Yeah, and can we still do anything else after that?
Just make it 2.
Yeah, you just make it 2, right? You want to simplify it as far as you can, okay? So your final answer, please do not stop at x to the 4/2. You have to stop here, okay? X to the 2. So you turn it into radical form and then you simplify it, okay? Applying other rules. Okay, so same thing for J, right? So I'll let you guys try question J. All right, when you have an answer, you can raise your hand. So your final answer should look like x to the something, okay? Similar to the form in I, right? Everything is just x to the something. Okay, Naomi, what's your answer look like?
I got x 1/6.
Okay, x 1/6. Okay, we'll check the step, okay, each one of them. Start with the numerator. Okay, Tony, for
Yes.
the first radical, how do you write it as exponent?
Mm. Uh,
I circled, how do I turn that into exponent?
let's just say x to the power of 2/3
Yes, okay, and then multiply with,
multiplied with x to the power of 1/2 or 2/1.
which one,
Yeah,
1/2 or 2/1?
1/2.
Yeah, okay. 2 over 1 will be 2, okay? It will be square, very different, okay? Over x to the 1, okay? Then I don't need to write that. So once you get here, right, you have the top, they are multiplying, so you should add them up, okay? So add the 2 fractions. You get x to the 2 over 3 plus 1 over 2. What's on the top then? Henry, can you get the answer for the numerator? If you simplify the top,
Okay. It should be 7 over x to the 7 over 6.
okay, x to 7 over 6, very good, okay? And then the bottom, you have an exponent of 1, so you will subtract them together, then that's how you get x to the 1 over 6. Okay, so if you look at all the answer we've done so far, your final answer has exponents only, okay? Yeah, okay. Wilson? Okay. Yeah, Wilson, can you turn on the mic?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, so you have the homework uploaded, right?
For which one? I know,
For
I'm not
today.
finished 20 yet, but I did 19. I uploaded 19. So it's just like the new homework that I haven't finished yet.
So did you upload it to the wrong place or?
Hmm?
Oh, you
Oh yeah. I'm
you
not
have
quite finished. Yeah.
four files. I see 4 files on homework 20.
Really? Hang on. Yeah. I uploaded. I didn't submit it because I'm not finished with it yet.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And then 19, what about homework 19?
I handed in 19. It should
Right.
be there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, okay, okay. So you're handed in to, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
you're welcome.
Bye
Okay,
bye.
bye. Yeah, so make sure you study this one, okay? You guys look at the answers for the homework, and next week, because of family day, okay, weekend, so we won't have class, all right? So if you still have any questions, you can stay after class, and have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, you're
Thank
welcome.
you.
You.
And Tony, please stay after class, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, bye-bye.
Sorry. Bye.
Bye,
Have a good weekend.
you too. Okay, so we have Shanier, right, and Tony, okay. How much more do you guys have?
I'm at 49.
49. Okay. How about you, Shanier?
Pardon?
Which question are you on? How many more?
Oh, I'm on like the last 2 rows.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's just that I did them, but I think I did did it wrong.
Mhm.
So I'm like redoing like from like 46 all the way to 65.
Oh, okay, you did? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let me know if you're not sure if your answer is right, okay?
Yeah, because the rule thing that we reviewed, I accidentally like thought it was like
Hmm.
I mixed it up a little bit. That's why I have to like redo.
Okay.
Yeah.